aside your fear. Make the world remember your name. Your name.
Welcome back to the Shit Talkers show. Round 7 is in the books and once again, absolute chaos right across the league. I'm Bobby Baxter, and as always I'm joined by the ever-composed Sally Fairbank, and a man who once tried to call a weather delay in an indoor stadium, Lenny Giordano.
It looked humid, Bobby.
You were sweating.
And let's bring in the smoothest man in the building, frontman of the ST Funk Express, Reggie Velvet Thunder King.
Bobby, baby, I still don't understand this sport.
7 weeks, Reggie.
No timeouts, no helmets, and people celebrating chaos.
That's the league.
But I've figured something out.
Oh no.
Who pantsed less?
Go on.
It's Georgina from Houdini's Rivals.
What?
1 win all season. Nobody's talking about it. So she creates a distraction, pantsing someone on live television. Now everybody's focused on that.
And not her record.
Exactly.
That's actually not bad.
Let's roll the highlights.
After last week's humiliating disaster involving Cameron Zohar and the now infamous roller skating potato experiment, Abdul Yalchin decided Abs Magic needed to get back to basics against the winless Riley Boys Tigers. On paper, this looked like the perfect opportunity. Riley Boys had lost their first 6 games of the season and, incredibly, had managed to blow winning positions in every single one of them. Still, for one half of football, it looked like this nightmare run might finally be coming to an end. Les Riley was enormous early, collecting 28 disposals in the first half alone, while Dermot Brereton was tearing the game apart up forward with 5 first-half goals as the Riley boys stormed out to a 54-point lead by half-time. The crowd could barely believe what they were seeing. Even the Riley boys players started looking around at each other like they were finally about to sing the victory song for the first time all season. But at the main break, Abdul Yalchin remained unbelievably calm. There was no screaming, no panic, and no dramatic spray at his players. Instead, he just smirked and said, "Well, we all know what happens now. The Riley boys Tigers are about to crap the bed. Just go out there, do whatever you want, and calm her down." And somehow, that was exactly what unfolded. Abs Magic slowed the game right down and started controlling possession with short kicks and patient build-up play. Goal by goal, they chipped away at the lead, while the Riley boys Tigers slowly lost their composure. Robbie Muir looked especially furious, and at one stage came charging toward Vito Corleone, looking ready to flatten him with a massive shirt front. But the moment Muir locked eyes with Corleone, he suddenly froze. Vito calmly nodded at him, flicked his fingers as if to say, "Move along," and Robbie Muir immediately turned around and walked straight back to the bench without another word. It was one of the strangest moments of intimidation you'll ever see on a football field. From there, the Riley boys completely unravelled as Abs Magic piled on 9 unanswered goals to steal the game. Another brutal collapse for Riley boys, and Abs Magic march on. Roaring Tigers produced one of the strangest victories you'll ever see after a pre-game stunt turned the centre square into absolute chaos. Joel Ellis had spent the entire week training his Camarita Tigers players using bird whistles and scattered seed to improve focus and discipline around stoppages. Unfortunately for him, Deborah McCoy got wind of it. Before the match, she deliberately dumped industrial quantities of birdseed across the centre square. Mid-game, thousands of pigeons descended onto the field. Aussie Ostrich immediately thought it was feeding time and abandoned his position inside the forward 50, followed closely by Roadrunner and Zazu, completely destroying Camarita's structure. The umpires had no choice but to repeatedly penalise Camarita for breaching the 6-6-6 rule, handing Roaring Tigers free kick after free kick. Deborah McCoy, Pat Benatar, and Melissa Etheridge took full advantage, dominating the contest as Camrita's structure completely collapsed. A bizarre, chaotic win, but a crucial one as the Roaring Tigers surge back into the top 8.
Houdini's rivals went down to Dunder Mifflin by 170 points in one of the strangest games of the season. Dunder Mifflin treated the entire week like a corporate seminar, with Michael Scott forcing players through winning culture and respectful tackling. Things immediately went off the rails when Animal sprinted over and screamed directly into Dwight Schrute's face for 5 straight minutes. Dwight didn't flinch. He just stared back and whispered, "I've dealt with worse in Scranton." The turning point came late in the third when Michael Scott panicked and accidentally sent David Brent onto the field wearing Kevin Malone's Guernsey. The Muppets lost their minds, arguing over why Kevin suddenly had a British accent and was dancing on the wing. While chaos unfolded, Matt Grimston quietly tore the game apart as Dunder Mifflin slammed on 5 unanswered goals. After the game, Michael Scott called it a deliberate leadership rotation strategy. Somehow it worked. Sizzling Grill kept their season alive with a 53-point win, but once again the real madness took place before the first bounce. The Dodgywogs prepared at Johnny Vincent Sam's Ristorante, mainly because their headquarters has been under renovation for 18 months, with rumours Jason Mollier's cousins spend more time on smoke breaks than actual work. They realised quickly they had a problem, Sizzling Grill are giants. Mollier tried to implement a low ball strategy, but most of the team either refused, didn't have the skills to execute it, or simply didn't understand it. Only Peter Dacos and Ange Postecoglou bought in. The result? Absolute domination in the air. At one point, Tony Liberatore so frustrated he started biting James P. Sullivan's ankle, who casually flicked his leg and launched Libba 200 metres into the cup half. From there, the Giants took over. Godzilla and King Kong dominated, and the Dodgywogs had no answers. Roger Mortier's week started with praise and ended in pure fear. After a big win, Roger was driving home buzzing and decided to send this voice message to Forrest Gump and Daenerys.
Hey Siri, send message to Forrest and Daenerys. Proud of you both. Get down to Club HQ tomorrow morning. We're taking control of this league.
And then Siri replied with,
Okay, message sent to Forrest Whitaker and Robert De Niro.
The next morning, De Niro walked into Munch's HQ alongside Whitaker, like true crime mob bosses. Roger reportedly went pale instantly. By halftime, Roger was coaching in fear, flinching every time De Niro adjusted his cufflinks. At one point, Whitaker leaned in and whispered,
You lose this game. We gonna have a conversation.
The turning point came when Roger, completely rattled, ordered a full-ground lockdown defense. Problem was, nobody could see Lalore of the Wild's players. Casper drifted into the goal square. Slimer created anarchy. Beetlejuice appeared behind defenders screaming his own name. And John Cena took uncontested marks while players yelled, I can't even see him. From there, Lalore of the Wild ran away with it. Our thoughts and prayers are with Roger and his kneecaps.
Relic bounced back strongly, but this one had serious spice leading in. After Crystal Jones was voted Best Female Player in the league, Sacred Snapper stars Nicole Kidman, Elle Macpherson and Moana weren't happy, and made sure everyone knew it. From the opening bounce, Crystal was double-teamed relentlessly. But Relic had a plan. Wherever Crystal went, Dustin Martin followed, and nobody tags Dusty. He took control through the middle alongside Greg Williams, completely breaking the game open. Then came the moment. Gilligan produced an all-time blunder, finding himself horribly out of position and allowing Fraser Gehrig to not only steamroll him, but then proceeded to charge into space. The G-Train took over, 3 last quarter goals to seal it and send Sacred Snapper packing. Relic walked away with the win, while Sacred Snapper were left wondering how it slipped so badly. Tiger Frowle pulled off one of the most ridiculous wins of the season. Brian Giovanni was so impressed with his newfound good luck charm in Joe Biden that he decided to gift Sleepy Joe with this week's captaincy. Tiger Frowle's Donald Trump caught wind of this and spent the entire week convincing Biden the match was a non-contact charity game. So when the first bounce came, Jungle Land ran out in polo shirts and sneakers, while Tiger Frowle were fully geared up. By quarter time, Jungle Land was 68 points down. Then it got worse. Anthony Albanese, Tiger Frowl's infamous bench warmer, got bored and wandered into the MCG switch room and found a big red button which read, "Emergency Green Support Package, do not press." He pressed it. The sprinkler system exploded to life, turning the ground into a slip and slide as Jungle Land players repeatedly lost their footing. Tiger Frowl cashed in. Trump dominated. Putin kicked 6, and the damage was done. Jungle Land fought back late, but the early chaos proved too much. Flem Dogs dominated the new-look Monster Nitro Vipers, who came in horrifically underprepared. While Flem Dogs spent the week tightening defensive structures, the Vipers somehow spent their time watching old WrestleMania tapes, thinking they were facing the Junkyard Dog. It showed. One particular moment summed up their night. Randy Orton pump faked a kick, expecting Flem Dog defenders to chase like actual dogs after a stick. They didn't move. Scott Turner, Joel Bowden and Darren Gasper stayed locked on the ball and immediately dragged him down. From there, Flem Dogs took complete control. Matthew Knights dominated, the defense held firm, and up forward Brendan Gale and Jake King piled on 11 goals between them. A complete performance. And a brutal reality check for the Monster Nitro Vipers, who might have a fancy new sponsor, but now also find themselves in crisis talks.
The Paul Stanleys continued their premiership charge with a commanding 109-point victory over Smilly Squad in a match fueled by old grudges, revenge, and one of the most bizarre halftime punishments we've ever seen. Tensions between Paul Stanley and his former Kiss bandmates, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley and Peter Criss have reportedly remained bitter ever since the band split. So, in the off-season, Smilly Squad owner Dan Evans made the extraordinary decision to recruit not 1, but 3 former Kiss members in the hope of copying the formula that helped deliver last season's premiership success. Leading into the game, Evans became obsessed with uncovering supposed cultural problems inside the Paul Stanley's camp. After a failed spying mission where Peter Criss stepped on a rake and triggered a full-blown security chase, he returned to Smilly Squad HQ claiming he had valuable intel, an old interview where Paul Stanley called Dee Snider a buffoon. That was a mistake. Upon hearing about this old news that actually took place in 2015, Stanley and Snider came out furious and made a pact to show no mercy. They dominated from the opening bounce, linking up, assisting each other, and celebrating like rock gods. Snider kicked 10, Stanley kicked 8. They completely took over. At halftime, Dan Evans snapped. He dragged Peter Criss into the lab and transformed him into a potato, labelling him Peter Crisps with a hot branding iron. The Paul Stanleys cruised home in a performance built entirely on spite. Thunderstruck thought they had the perfect plan. Use Angus Young to distract Laylor. After all, it was no secret that Booney, Warney, and many of the other Lala players were avid AC/DC fans. Thunderstruck, however, underestimated David Boone. Booney casually walked up to Angus and said, "Bet you've never heard a belched version of For Those About to Rock." Then Booney unleashed the most disgusting burp imaginable. Angus dropped, so did half the forward line. They really dropped like flies. Literally. Thunderstruck owner Mark Elliott scrambled, throwing key defenders Dave Grohl and Slash up into their forward line, but their kicking fell apart. Meanwhile, Anton Walker and Paul Pierce calmly took over at the other end. Laylor piled on goals while Thunderstruck was still recovering from the stench. Another win, and another Booney moment nobody saw coming.
Well, if that doesn't sum up the Shit Talkers League, I don't know what does.
10 games, 10 completely different storylines, and somehow things are getting even more unpredictable.
And I'm still not ruling out Georgina.
Please stop. Christ almighty. Take it away, Sal.
Sally's Spotlight. This week's Spotlight is on the Flem Dogs. Last season, Michael Fleming made the bold decision to field actual dogs, and as expected, it didn't go well. They missed the finals. Fast forward to now, and Fleming has completely reinvented the side. He's assembled a team built around former Richmond players from the late 90s and early 2000s, led by Matthew Richardson and Kane Pettifer. With midfielders like Matthew Knights, Paul Broderick, Trent Cotchin and Nathan Foley, they've created arguably the most damaging offensive side in the league. As a result, Matthew Richardson currently leads the Coleman medal race with 30 goals in 7 games and doesn't look like slowing down anytime soon. The Flem Dogs are a serious threat.
And now it's time for Lenny and the latest individual player tallies.
Lenny's leaderboard, low down.
After 7 rounds, the competition's elite are really starting to emerge. Abdul Yelchin still leads, but the chasing pack is closing fast. Forrest Gump, Tony Lockett, Spud Mann and Matthew Falls are all within striking distance, while Vito Corleone and John Cena are building nicely. Over in the Coleman medal race, Matthew Richardson and Barry Hall are leading the way with dominant seasons, while Tony Lockett isn't far behind. Shane Warne and Ossie Ostrich continue to deliver consistently, and names like Peter Dacos, Santa Clegane and Kevin Malone are all right in the mix. It's shaping as one of the tightest races we've seen.
Quick look at the ladder after round 7, and things are starting to take shape. Relic remain on top for a 6th straight week, but Abs Magic and the Paul Stanleys are right there within striking distance. Munchers are still holding on to a top 4 spot despite that loss, while Lalor continue to stay solid in 5th. Flem Dogs are the big movers, now up into 6th and building serious momentum. And the Roaring Tigers jump back into the 8 after that win. Tiger Frowls sneak into the top 8 as well, while Dunder Mifflin and Lalor of the Wild are right on the edge and closing in. Further down, it's getting tight. A few sides still in the mix, but needing wins quickly. And at the bottom, Riley Boys Tigers still searching for their first victory. It's a very even competition, and it's only getting tighter from here. And that's round 7 wrapped, 10 games. 10 completely ridiculous storylines. And somehow it just keeps getting better every single week.
Momentum swings, ladder shake-ups, and a few teams really starting to show who they are.
And a few others still trying to figure it out.
I am still figuring it out.
He's got another theory coming next week. I guarantee it.
We can't wait.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week for round 8. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
It's more